Hammerhead shark is based on a Buster balloon shark from back when VHS was still a thing. So it's pretty modified from the original design there, but essentially it stayed the same except for this area in the front. The construction of it is a little different, but ultimately the end result is basically the same. So for this one, you actually need 4 260s of the same color, whether you want to do blue, gray, or any color of your choice. You can ask the kids what they want. A lot of times kids ask me to make it orange, and then I'll do tiger stripes on it too. But yeah, so you'll need 4 of the same color, and then you can get away with doing the eyes white as well. So you get one eye, the mouth, the eye here, all out of one piece, and then that piece continues down the belly. Well, you take that balloon to finish off the belly, that's what I meant. So anyway, a friend asked me for this design, and I figured, why not let everybody benefit from it? So we're going to start off with 2 260s inflated about equally, pretty close to it at least, about that much. Now the construction that I'm using is more about efficiency than anything else. Like I said, you could alternatively, let me just put this down and I'll show you what I mean here. So these are the 3 pieces you would need for the basis of the Buster balloon shark from over 20 years ago. And the way that assembles, at least the way I've been making it, is pretty simple. You take this balloon, it's just fully inflated, tied end to end with 2 pinch twists, and you fold it over and split that into 4 equal bubbles. This one is also fully inflated, and you can see the very end of the balloon is used to hold it all together here. So take these 2 pieces, slide this through there, do that, and you can shape this a little bit like that. Give you your pectoral and dorsal fin. And then this will just attach here, and those pinch twists are a great anchor point and helps stabilize everything. So this is the base of that shark, and then you run a 260 across the mouth here. I actually start at this end and go all the way down the belly, bring a bubble into the center here, and then go out one side and connect it back, wrap it around tightly, and break it off. So that's the basis of the Buster balloon shark. Now, what I was trying to get at is this part is virtually identical. You can see that this is a little bit smaller. The torso section, if you will, is a little bit smaller because instead of making this head piece out of a whole separate balloon, we start up here with 2 balloons and then bring those folded back on themselves to get the head and the torso or midsection out of 2 balloons. But if you prefer doing it this way, if that's easier for you, that's fine too. I've found that efficiency and speed, doing it this way has been better for me. Anyway, let's get back to it. Okay, so you need 2 pretty close to the same size. If they're not exactly the same, that's okay. We're going to start off on both of them with 2 pinch twists. Alright, so 2 pinch twists, just like that, both of these. Okay, so we've got that on both, and we're going to lay it across each other like this. Just join them there. How big you want to make it, that's going to be entirely up to you and your preference. Join that. And then you just want to make sure you're grabbing the right one. Fold that over this way too. basically split this bubble in half to get our length for the next two pieces. We're creating like a little bit of an arched triangle. So once you have those pieces joined together, we're going to make a pinch twist out of both sides here. Now if you notice that one side is a lot shorter than the other, we're going to make them even. We do both pinch twists on that side. Okay, so if you wanted to build it the other way, basically you just attach this right there and then you're done. But you could also just make this out of one balloon, and I guess probably the easiest way to do that would be two pinch twists here, come across, two pinch twists again, back, and then up, two pinch twists again, and close it off, or any sequence starting at one of those sets of pinch twists. But instead, we're going to join these pieces again, like this, and then make another set of pinch twists here, and then fold these pieces back on top. We're going to just wrap those around and make sure they're not going to come undone. And as long as you wrap it around enough and those pinch twists are tight, and nothing's going to come undone, you can cut those off without having to tie anything else. And that's in there really solid. But that's something that, you know, probably isn't advised if you're new to twisting and haven't done a whole lot of, or had a whole lot of experience with things coming unraveled. Just want to make sure that all of your intersections are tight and that the balloons stay where you want them to. Okay, so yeah, the dorsal and pectoral fin, that's pretty easy. So we're going to basically fully inflate this, and I'll just squish that instead of burping it. You can burp it a little bit if it's too tight. But we're going to fold our first loop about that size. Twist that, and I always knot this around to make sure that it will not come undone, no matter how rough somebody plays with it. Okay? Then we're going to just bring the very tip of that balloon through and lock it in as well. Then we're going to take our bigger section of this loop here and just split it in half. We get 3 sections, and ideally they're pretty close to equal. So if you have 2 that are the same, you want to use those as your pectoral and just have the dorsal fin a tiny bit shorter. We're going to take these 2 pieces, the same thing as we did with the other shark, tuck it in this way, and push it out the other side. So you have 2 sections that are at the top, 2 sections that are at the bottom, with the dorsal fin sticking up through the 2 at the top. And to get that shape, you just kind of bend it backwards, manipulating it like that. And then you can do something similar with these. Just bend them in this way, squish. And you're applying a lot of pressure and then releasing it. And that leaves a semi-permanent bending. Okay, so we should have something like that. Now this one, we're going to inflate it about that much. We're going to make 2 pinch twists, then a short section and a longer curved section. So we're going to do that again now. Now, I've never paid too much attention to how long I make this. You want to kind of make it proportional and make sure they're about the same size. We're going to take this piece again, just feed it through those pinch twists here, and maybe pass it through the belly just to make sure nothing is going to come undone. Then we're going to fold it back and then have this piece come out through the tail and break it up. And anytime you have a little bit left over, instead of just taking it to the very end of this, is going to be more stable and more secure because you've basically forced pressure out of that joint to make that happen. So as long as you wrap it around enough, it's going to be more stable and solid than just hooking onto the very end of a balloon where it could have more friction and come undone. So positioning the pinch twist and angling the tail the right way is also important too. Mammals, generally speaking, most mammals will have like horizontal fins like this, and fish are going to be like this. So we're adding a belly piece there, so we're just going to rotate that so it's facing the right direction. Okay, as I said before, for speed purposes, you could just make the eyeballs, the teeth, the eyeball on this side, and the entire belly out of one balloon. So I'll show you that, but I do think it looks a lot cooler when you either do black eyes, to give it that like shark eye they call it, like it just looks, you know, more menacing. Or you could do like a contrasting color, especially if you make it with blue, yellow eyes, or red eyes. It looks really cool too. But let's see. So this 260 for the white is almost fully inflated. I'm going to start off by wrapping it into those pinch twists securely and just making a small, very small loop twist. I'm turning it this way so the loop is not in the middle of the eye. Although you could do that if you wanted to, and then add a little puff black in there too to make it a little more cartoony, or draw it on. I'm going to bring this across again. As you can see, we have quite a bit left over, so we're going to cut that off and use it for the belly. So just snap that. We're going to let some of the air out, and you can start at either end. Wrap it in here, bring it down this way, secure it around the pinch twist, and then lay it flat in that gap. Again, I like to make sure that I have enough where I can break that off after I've secured it to make sure everything stays nice and tight. And then, if you were just going for speed, cranking them out as fast as you can, I would only use a black marker. You know, every second counts when you are trying to go fast. So we're just going to do big round pupils. And some zigzags for the teeth. And little nostrils up top there. And then some curved slashes along the side for gills. And that's it. So, we're going to take a look at these two together, just for comparison. So we've got them like that. And then from the front, you can see one looks a little more menacing than the other. Thanks for watching.